Please support my channel by clicking on this red subscribe button right below the video. Once you get subscribed to my channel, do not forget to click on this bell icon right next to it in order to get notifications about my latest videos. And last but not least, if you like this video, please click on this like button in order to show me your love. Hey guys, Shabazz here from Adam Tech Guide. It's good to be back on YouTube after a long time. It's good to face the camera and talk to you guys. I really appreciate all of you guys who subscribed to my channel. You guys are great. So yeah, let's get back to the video. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to dual boot macOS and Windows operating system on your computer. So before I start this, I would definitely like to give you guys a disclaimer that this video is only for educational purpose, for learning purpose. Please do not use this video for any of the activity which is not legal, because my channel as well as my videos do not support any of the illegal activities. Also, a few things to keep in mind before we start this video. You guys have to make sure you guys have already backed up all of the important contents from your hard drive, because this process will erase everything from your hard drive on which we are doing this. Also, please disconnect all of the extra hard drives which you guys have connected to your computer, because there might be instance, just to be on the safer side, because at times you guys will end up deleting few of your important contents from other hard drives. About the system specification, I am using a little bit old configuration, keeping the compatibility in mind. This video is going to be a little bit lengthy compared to my previous videos, because this is going to be a detailed video, but I will definitely try my best to keep things simple, easy to understand for you guys. As well as I will be dividing this video into a few parts. The first part is going to be making a bootable flash drive for both of our operating system. The second part is going to be installing the Mac OS first onto our computer, making the partition, two different partitions into our hard drive so that we can install Windows 10 later. The third part is going to be installing the Clover bootloader, which will then help us to boot from our Windows 10 operating system. And finally, we'll check if the thing's dual boot. So that's how the video is going to be. That's how the agenda for today's video. So yeah guys, enough of the talking already. Without wasting any further ado, let's get started with the video. Guys, this is the first part of the process wherein we will be making a bootable flash drive for both of our operating system. So first off, you're gonna have to go to Google and search for the setup file for Transmac. This software will help us to write our Mac operating system on our flash drive. The second thing which you have to download is the software called Rufus. Please go to Google and search for Rufus. By the way, I'm gonna give you guys a link for both of these software in the description. You guys can directly go ahead and click on that link and download. Once you guys are done downloading, do install these software on your computer. Right click on the Transmac and click on Run as an administrator. Once you click on Run, it will open the software. Here you see this last drive, which is my USB flash drive. So these all are the hard disks connected to my computer, and this is the one on which we will be writing our Mac operating system. This is the USB flash drive, as you guys can read right here. Please be careful, do not delete any of these, because these all are your hard drives. Right click on the last one which says USB and click on Format Disk for Mac. Once you click on that, you guys will get this pop-up which says warning. Click on yes. Now this box is asking you to name your flash drive. Now this thing is formatting a flash drive into Mac OS format, and it will take some time since my flash drive is of 16 gigabytes. It will take some time to delete the contents. Also, I already have Mac OS in this flash drive, so it's deleting it. So it might give you a pop-up which will ask you to format this. You just close this and close this, and this says that the format process is completed. I'm going to click on OK. Now you guys have to right click on this again and click on Restore Disk Image. You guys have to click on yes. Now in this page, you'll have to click on these three dots. The small box which has got three dots is asking you to browse for your Mac OS image file. I'm going to click on Catalina right here. As you guys can see, the image itself is for more than 9 gigs. I mean, it's going to be somewhere around 8.64 gigs if I'm not wrong. Right here, 8.64 gigs. Yeah, so it's a big image file. It will take time, so you're going to have to click on this and click on open. Once you click on open, this image file will be selected right here in this box, as you guys can see right here. And I'm going to click on OK. So once I click on OK, it will start writing the Mac OS files onto my flash drive. Now this process will take time. You're gonna have to wait till the time it completes the entire process, and then once the process completes, it will give you a pop-up on the screen which will let you guys know that the operation has been completed successfully. So guys, it completed the process. It shows restore complete. I'm gonna click on OK now. Now guys, once we are done making bootable flash drive for our macOS Catalina, now we'll have to come to the partition which is created after making the bootable flash drive. Here, this is the partition which says Clore. So this is the EFI partition of our flash drive which we will be using after we are done installing macOS to our computer. So we'll just open this, and there will be files which I will link in the description. The link will be for these two files, and you'll have to download Multi-Beast Mojave Edition from Tony's Mac x86.com. You'll have to copy this file to your flash drive's EFI partition, which is Clore, and you'll have to wait till the time the file gets transferred. So you guys have to remove the flash drive which is connected to your computer right now, because this is for Mac OS, and you'll have to connect the other flash drive which you guys want to make a bootable for Windows. You'll have to then come to Rufus and right click on it and click on Run as an Administrator. It will ask you to select your flash drive right here in the first drop down. Make sure you select your flash drive. Now after selecting the flash drive, you'll have to then click on the second one which says partition scheme. Do make sure you go for the last one which says GPT partition scheme, UEFI. I'll select this one. Now the third is going to be selecting the file system. I'll select NTFS. So I'll click on this one, and then it's going to ask me to browse for our Windows image file, Windows 10 image file to be more precise. I'll select Windows 10 Professional here, and I will click on open, and that will be selected. Now you can give the new volume label name, so you can give the name to your flash drive. Once you click on start, it will start writing the image file on your USB flash drive. So that's how you make Windows bootable flash drive for your Windows operating system. So guys, we are done with our part 1 of the video. We have made bootable flash drive for our macOS as well as for our Windows operating system. Now we're going to restart the computer. We will go to our BIOS. We will make a settings in our BIOS so that we can install our Mac operating system. So I'll restart my computer, and I'm tapping the delete button to go inside my BIOS screen. So I'll come to BIOS feature first, and I'll come to Windows 8 features, and I will select other OS. In boot mode selection, I will select UEFI only. In this LAN PXE boot, I will just leave it as it is. Storage boot option control, I will select UEFI first. Other PCIe device ROM priority, I will go for UEFI OP ROM. So guys, these all are the options which may stay similar in most of the motherboards. Since I'm using Gigabyte motherboard, the settings might be similar in the other Gigabyte motherboard, but they can vary according to different brands. Like Asus might have some different settings altogether, but the names may stay similar. So please do make sure you do the settings right in order to make your computer boot properly into our Mac installer. So I'm gonna press the F10 button to save and exit the settings, and I'll then keep on tapping the button F12, which will take me to my boot device menu. This is the boot device selection option. I will go for UEFI OS, which will boot my computer from the flash drive. So this is a Clore bootloader now. I will select the settings first. So this is the settings which says option right here, and you guys will see this mark which will indicate the options in which you are in right now. So I'll come to options first and press enter. I'm going to press the enter again, and I'll delete everything which is there here. -V. -V and GraphicsEnabler equals yes. If you guys can see right there, I will also include this in the description. I'm gonna press enter, and I'll go to graphics injector. I'm gonna press the spacebar on inject ATI since I am using the ATI graphics card, the AMD graphics card. I'll come down at the bottom and I'll press enter on return, and I'll again go to return and press enter. Now I will go to the first option and I'll press spacebar, which says boot Mac install from Nourish Catalina. By the way, we are using the Nourish edition for this OS since the Nourish editions has got lots of Kext pre-installed. So I prefer this one. So I'm going to press the spacebar on this option and I will go to the first option, which says boot Mac OS with selected option. Guys, if you are using the NVIDIA graphics card, please make sure you come on this which says use NVIDIA web drivers and press the spacebar to checkmark the box. Since I'm not using the NVIDIA graphics card, I will leave this blank and I'll go to boot Mac OS with selected option. And I'm going to press enter and it will start booting into the Mac installer. This thing will take some time, so I'm going to pause the video and I'll be right back. So we have the Apple logo in middle of the screen and it's loading the setup files from the flash drive. Now anytime from now it will bring up the installer window. So guys, this is the setup window. I will have to press in the center to bring up this toolbar which has different menus on top. I'll go to utilities first. Let me just make my screen darker so that you guys can see the options and the menus. Now I'll go to disk utility first, since we have to make partition in our hard drive to install Mac as well as Windows 10. So you guys have to click on this and you'll have to make sure you click on show all devices so that your hard drive becomes visible. So this is my hard drive and these are the partitions in my hard drive. So I'll highlight the main hard drive and I'll click on partition first, and I'm going to click on partition. Now this is the pie diagram here which shows my entire hard drive. I'm going to have to just click on this plus sign and it will divide my hard drive into two different partitions. So the ratio will be 50-50. Now I'll have to come here which says untitled and I'll have to give it name. So this is going to be my Windows partition. So it's asking me to name the partition. I'll give it Windows, and format will be MS-DOS FAT, and the capacity and size will be grayed out, so you can't change it. But I'll come to this partition and I'll change the format to extended journal and I'll name it Mac Drive. Are done making two partitions for our Mac and Windows. I'm going to click on apply and I'm going to click on partition and it will start partitioning the hard drive for our operating systems. So it will take some time. If you guys want to see the background process, you guys can click here and it shows the entire process which is going on in the background. Now as you guys can see, it just took W for Windows. It's not going to take the entire name for Windows. I really don't know why. But when you are partitioning the hard drive and if you want to give name Windows to a specific partition, it will not take the name Windows, it will just give you a letter W. I will close this, click on continue. I will again click on continue. I'll click on agree and this is going to give me my Mac drive which I just made. I'm going to click on this, highlight this, and I'll click on continue. Now guys, the process has been started. It's installing the Mac operating system. So I'm going to pause the video right here and I will be right back once this thing completes and the computer restarts. So guys, my computer just restarted itself. I'm going to keep on tapping the F12 button to come to the boot selection, boot device selection menu. And I'm going to come to the option called Sony Storage Media. So first we'll go to settings, options, and I'll press enter. Now I'll come to the graphics injector. I'll press enter. I'll make sure I have checkmarked the box which says inject ATI since I will be using the ATI graphics card. I'll go return. I'll go return again and I'll come on the partition which I just made, Mac drive, and I'll press enter. Now it's booting my computer from the Mac drive and this will take some time. This is the first boot and it will take me to the installer window. That's not going to be an installer, that will be an Apple icon in the center of at the center of the screen, and it will continue the installation process. So guys, I'm going to pause the video right here and I'm going to restart the video once the process gets completed. So guys, as I mentioned earlier, this is the Apple logo, and the installer has again restarted itself. This progress bar will complete till 100%, and it will again restart my computer. So I'm going to pause the video right here, and I will restart the video once the installer completes itself. Now it restarted my computer again, and I will have to make sure I'll again press the F12 button to boot my computer to the boot selection option. I'm tapping the F12 button, and I'll go to the boot device selection menu, and I'll again go for Sony Storage Media UEFI, and I'll press enter, and that will take me to the Clover bootloader. I will again go to settings, I will press enter, I'll go to graphics injector, I'll make sure I have checkmarked the box which says inject ATI. So guys, this is not necessary, but I just wanted to be on the safer side. I'll go return again, and I'll come to the Mac drive, and I'll press enter, and my computer will again boot from the Mac drive. So guys, this is again going to start the installation process. So again, I will see the Apple logo in the center of the screen, and the installer will again start installing the operating system on my computer. So I'm going to pause the video right here, and I will wait till the time the installer starts. So guys, as you can see, again the installer started the further process of installation. As you guys can see, it shows about 16 minutes remaining right there, but it's not gonna take 16 minutes, guys. Trust me, it will take longer according to your computer speed. So I'm gonna pause the video right here, and I'll restart the video once this thing completes 100%, and my computer will restart itself. So I'll have to tap the F12 button to go to the boot selection menu. And now I'm gonna again have to come to Sony Storage Media and press enter. And I will again have to go to options, inject ATI. I'll go to return. I'll again go to return. So now this time it shows boot firewall pre-booter from pre-boot. So I'm gonna press enter on this, and it will again start the next installation process. This is the last stage of the installation, wherein it will show you 1 of 100% completed, but it will still take time. We have the Apple icon again in the center of the screen, and the progress bar is still going on, so it will take some time. Again, I'm going to pause the video. This is going to be the last restart which our computer will take. So guys, my computer just restarted. I'm going to tap F12 button to again come to the boot device menu, and I'll again go for Sony Storage Media and press enter. So first, let's go to options and go to graphics injector again, inject ATI, and return thing which says boot firewall pre-booter from pre-boot. I'll press enter, and it will again start the installation process. So guys, as you can see, this time it's a different page altogether. It's asking us to select the country. I'm going to select United States, so U and 1 2 3 4 5 6, and press enter. United States, I'll select United States, and I'll go to continue. Now I will again go to continue. My computer does not connect to the internet. I'm gonna select this, and I'll go continue. Since we are going to install the text files later, I'll click continue. I'll click continue, and I'll click don't transfer any information since I don't have any information to transfer to this Mac. I'll click continue. End user licensing agreement. I'm going to click agree. I'll click agree again. Now it's asking me to name my Mac, so I will give it Adams Tech Guide. I will go next. Now this is asking me to enter the password. This is not going to take 1-digit password, so you're gonna have to make sure you give at least a minimum of 6 letters or 6 digits as a password. So I'll set up the password for my computer. All right, let's go for continue again. and this will take some time. So I'm going to click on continue. I will keep this box unchecked. I don't want this, and I'll go continue. And I will go to setup later. We have 3 themes, so I will click on dark and I will click continue, and it's setting up my Mac. Now it's asking me to set up the keyboard. I'm gonna click on continue. Now we'll have to click on Z, and we'll have to click on the / and it will take the United States keyboard, and I'll click done. So guys, we are done installing our Mac OS. So let's go for settings. I'll do a few settings because I want my Mac to look nice. I'll go to dock. I will reduce the size of the dock, and I'll click on magnification, and I will make sure the magnification is on. Perfect, it's working. Let's check if my graphics driver works. Yes, it's working. As you can see the translucent effect. As you guys can see the effect, that means my graphics drivers are working. I'm gonna go back and I will go to mouse. I'll just make sure the scroller is in place. I'll go back. I'll make the icons smaller. Let me just go for perfect, and I will reduce the size of the text. Perfect. So it looks good. I think the audio driver is pre-installed. So as you can see, we've got built-in options right here. That means we already have the audio driver installed in the computer. Now I'm wondering if I have the network driver. We have this port which is not configured. That means the network driver is not working. So we are done installing macOS Catalina to our computer. First, I'm going to go to preferences in Finder, and I will check mark this box which will make the drives in my Mac visible. And now I'm going to go to Clover, and I will open the EFI folder, and I will drag and drop the new folder which I placed when I was making the bootable flash drive for macOS Catalina. Now I'm gonna drag and drop the files which we placed inside the EFI folder. So I'm gonna first open MultiBeast, and I will extract MultiBeast in the Mac, and I will run MultiBeast. Now I am doing this just to install the bootloader. So I'm gonna go for UEFI boot mode because my motherboard supports the UEFI boot mode, and I'm gonna go for the drivers. Now the audio driver is by default installed. I'm gonna go to miscellaneous, and I'll check if things are properly selected here. Intel Ethernet, and I will go for USB, and I will check mark the box which says USB inject all. Now things are checked here, like for example bootloader was pre-checked. Now I'm gonna go to build, and I will click on install. It will ask me to agree the terms and condition. I'm gonna click on agree, and that will install the text files on my computer. Guys, I'm not installing these text files because I have already installed the text files, and drivers are properly installed on my Mac, so I am not doing that right now. But this is just for your understanding that you guys have to do like this in order to install a bootloader, which will then help us to boot between Mac and Windows operating system. So guys, that's it. We are done with the installation of text files, the drivers, as well as the bootloader for our Mac operating system. I am going to move to the other part of the video, installing the Windows operating system on our machine, and trying to dual boot between Mac OS and Windows operating system. So guys, that's it for this part. I'm gonna stop this video right here, and I will be restarting the video. That is the installation for Windows 10 operating system. So guys, I've restarted the computer, and I'm tapping the F12 button to come to the boot device selection screen, which will pop up in the meanwhile. Let me just focus the camera, and I will reduce the brightness so that you guys can see the menus. So I'm gonna enter into my UEFI Sony storage media because I have the other one. By the way guys, I have connected the flash drive which has the bootable Windows 10. So it's going to bring the installation wizard. I am going to click on next. I'm going to click on install now, and I'll wait for the other window to pop up. Now let me just adjust the camera, guys. My camera is moving away from the monitor. Now I'm going to click on accept for end user license and agreement. I'm going to click on next again. I'll click on custom install, and I will select the partition. So you'll have to check out the free space. As you guys can see, I have the partition tree W. I'm going to click on format, and I'll click on OK. Click on next in order to proceed further with the installation. Now it's going to take a while, so I'm going to pause the video right here, and I will be right back once the installation completes 100%. So guys, we are almost done with the first part of the installation. It's just installing the updates. As you guys can see, things are getting check marked there. Now in a very short while, my computer will restart itself. As you guys can see, it's restarting itself. We're gonna just wait till the time it restarts, and again I'm gonna keep on tapping the F12 button to come to the boot device selection menu. So I'm gonna enter into UEFI OS, and I will just wait till the time it boots from the UEFI OS. Now we'll boot up into Clover Bootloader. I'm gonna select boot Microsoft EFI and press enter. Guys, my computer restarted itself again. I'm going to tap on the F12 button again to come to the boot selection menu, and I will select the UEFI OS again and press enter. Now it's booting from my UEFI OS. Again, it will bring the Clover Bootloader if I'm not wrong, and that's going to ask us to select the Microsoft EFI partition again. I'm going to press enter on Microsoft EFI boot from EFI partition. Let me just decrease the brightness. I'm gonna press enter, and again it will start. You're gonna have to bear with the installation bit because it's gonna take a while. So now it has popped up a blue screen which is showing us just a moment. That means we are almost done. So guys, here we are. We've got the country selection page. I'm gonna select United States, and I will click on yes. So guys, here we are. We have the Edge window open. So I'm going to close the Edge window, and this is our Windows 10 desktop. So I am going to, refresh the page for several times. Let me just check if things are working fine. Let me just check the partitions. We've got C drive, 465 gigs of C drive, and this is my UEFI NTFS partition, which will help us to boot. So guys, I'm gonna restart my computer and check if I am able to dual boot from my Mac. So my computer restarted. I'm going to go to BIOS settings, and I will make few changes in order to dual boot my computer into Mac and Windows 10. I'll go to boot option 1, and I will select UEFI OS, press enter, and I'm gonna tap in the F10 and press enter to save and exit the settings. My computer will restart itself. I'm not going to tap any button now. And here we are. We have the Clover Bootloader. I'm going to boot into Mac OS to check if my computer is booting into Mac OS. So boot from Mac disk. So as you guys can see, I am into my Mac operating system. I'm going to enter the password, and it will take me to the desktop screen of my macOS Catalina. Now here I'm gonna make few changes in order to remove the verbose mode. I'm gonna go to Google and type in Clover Configurator, second option from Mac Update, and I will download the Clover Configurator tool. Now the tool has been downloaded. I am going to open this tool just for my system to recognize it. I'm going to open this tool to make my EFI partition visible so that we can go inside the EFI partition and we can edit our config.plist to remove the verbose mode from our Mac drive. I'll go to mount EFI, and this is my EFI partition. I'm going to click on mount partition, and it will ask me for the system's password. I'll enter the system's password and press enter, and as you can see, my EFI partition is visible. I'm going to double click my EFI partition. I will go for EFI folder. I'll enter the Clover folder, and I will search for config.plist. So I think this is the one which we are looking out for. I'll double click on the config.plist, and my config.plist will use that tool to open itself. I will go to boot, and I will highlight this -v that stands for verbose mode, and I will click on this minus sign here, right here, to remove it from our Mac's bootloader. and I will also remove the other entries just to make things clear. I think that's it. I'm going to restart my computer and check the changes. I'll press enter on Mac disk, and as you guys can see, the variables mode have been removed. It has the Apple logo along with the progress bar. This is booting into Mac OS. Let's just see if things works fine. And here we are, guys. It's asking me to enter the password for my Mac OS. I have entered the password, and it's into the desktop screen of Mac. So guys, we are successfully booting our Mac without variables mode. Let me just restart my computer and check if I am able to boot into my Windows operating system. So this time we're gonna go for Windows 10. Let's just wait till the time it boots to the Clover bootloader. So I'm gonna press enter on boot Microsoft EFI, and let's see if it boots into Windows 10. So it has the loading sign and it's working on something, and I'm definitely sure it's gonna boot into Windows OS. So guys, that's it. That's how we dual boot our computer between macOS Catalina and Windows 10. Thanks a lot guys for watching this video. I hope this video will provide all of the necessary information you guys need to dual boot your macOS and Windows together on your computer. I really appreciate your time and patience throughout this video. Thanks a lot guys. So that's it for today's video guys. Thanks a lot for watching this video. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you guys have any questions in regards to the process, you guys can feel free to write your questions in the comments box down there. I know this video has been a little bit lengthy, but that's how the things work. I just wanted to explain things to you guys in a more precise way, but still I tried my best to keep things simple for you guys. Do make sure you subscribe to my channel. The red button will be right below the video. Do make sure that you click on the bell icon right next to the subscribe button to get the notifications about my latest videos. Thanks a lot guys for watching this video. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.